I start every day with a dance.
That's awesome.
And feel myself. Who am I? What got me to where I am and where I continue to go and where I will continue to go is an insane work ethic. You can only put in that amount of work if you were doing something that you are passionate about, and that's what I have engaged my entire life's work in. You cannot fully commit to something if you are not passionate about it, so you must look at your surroundings, at the things you are involved in, and ask yourself, are you truly passionate about these things? Do you truly want to put every ounce of your being into these things? And I am blessed, truly blessed by something. I am not sure what it is, but I am blessed that I was able to find my passions, these avenues that the fight game has opened up for me. I'm going down them at 100 miles an hour with no brakes and full confidence in what lies ahead, and great things are happening. So I'm very blessed and very motivated still. I have gone through times in my young career of lapses in motivation and seeking that energy, but you know, I'm not supposed to be here. Where I come from, it's like it's on my whiskey prop on number 12. I come from a place, Dublin 12. It is a hard-working town, a small little suburb. It has its good and it has plenty of bad, but I always like to focus on the good because the good shines through. Where I come from, we're not supposed to climb to these heights. We're told that. It's instilled in us. And I wanted to break that mold and pave the way, open up paths. You know, like driving on them towards them building sites, and I'm just a young kid, first year apprentice plumber on a building site. They're the guy that goes to make the tea. They're the guy that goes and gets the copper pipes from the storehouse and carries it up. It's the hard work that's not respected and not admired. I was on them building sites cold and damp, and I was like looking around at fully qualified people on the site and their postures not right. That was not me. You know, I knew I could do something better. I knew I had something in me. I was training for the fight game, but no one in Ireland had made it in the fight game. An Irish man in the UFC was literally, and I mean literally, laughed at. We were laughed at when I said we were going to get to the UFC. Myself and my team were going to get to the UFC. Never mind get a win. Never mind even get a win in the UFC. Then win a belt. Then win the second belt. You know, I've just used all that fuel that I'm not supposed to do it, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to outwork everyone that says I cannot do it. And that's what I did, and that's how I rose up, and long may it continue. So my sister, when I was a young kid at around 15 years of age, unsure where I was going, came to me with a book, The Secret, and preaching the law of attraction. I wasn't interested. I was almost laughing at it. But then she kept on me with it, and I eventually watched a movie on it and read some books on it. And then it started to resonate with me, like to keep positive and have belief in where you're going. And you're able to, you can almost visually create your entire world. No, not almost, you actually can. I'm going to do that, and I will do that. And then that's when I began to practice it. I practice it. We used to drive, my girlfriend used to drive to a food place in like a shopping mall in Ireland, and it was a very busy shopping mall. And I would practice like little parts of it. Like when we were driving into the shopping mall, the car park, I would always visualize that the car park space right at the front door would be empty for me, waiting for us to pull up. And sometimes I'd get it and sometimes I wouldn't get it. You know, but when I got it, I celebrated like I just won my double world title. You know, and I kept building on that, and I got better at it, and I became so damn good at it that I was able to go into bouts against undefeated fighters with insane fighting legacies, and I was able to go in front of the world and tell the world I'm going to knock this man out with this exact shot at this exact time, and I done it back to back to back. See, I was visualizing before I even knew about it. Obviously, soccer is huge in Ireland and the UK, and it was my first love, most certainly. I used to sneak out of the house late at night, and there used to be a little grass patch by my home, and I'd take the football out and play on the grass patch on my own, and I would kick the ball against the wall. And when I kicked the ball against the wall, I would imagine it was a goal, and I scored a goal, and I would run off, and I would visualize a screaming arena cheering me on. And they were my first visions of selling out arenas and doing these type of things. Although it didn't end up in the football game, I ended up in a similar one. So it all worked out, and it was all true visualization. So I was just a young kid with a dream and a belief in himself. And for many times I was laughed at and not believed in. But you know what? Nothing external can defeat the internal. The only thing that can take someone down or break you down is internal. Nothing external is strong enough. It's just about making sure your internal dialogue and your internal belief in yourself is strong enough that it can withstand the external. The external is there. You've got to accept it. You've got to embrace it. You've got to understand it and be aware of it. But don't let it seep into your internal dialogue. I don't know it all. I'm up and down and growing with this. I'm trying to continue to learn. It's a daily occurrence. Not to let that external infiltrate my internal. And that's what I'm trying to do right now, because I have let it infiltrate it at times. 2 belts, the first 2 ever done it, the first 2 ever, and still the only 2 ever do it, unified. You know, for so long, like in my mid to late 20s, when I started to acquire wealth and acquire money, I was fascinated with materialistic things. I would buy myself cars, watches, but I switched off of that now. It's like I realized I was spending things on material items and not things on myself, on my being, on my fitness, on my health. I've switched that completely. We've got to be in shape. I think a trait of the successful is to train early, wake up and train early. You've got to be in shape.
Yes.
To be, you've got to be in shape physically to be in shape mentally.
Yes.
They go hand in hand.
Yes.
So I'm putting a lot more time into that, and I actually realized that first when I read it on LeBron James. He spent $1.5 million a year annually on himself.
And his body.
Physical therapist, masseuse, nutritionist, trainers, oxygen. All of that. And you know what? When I seen that, I said, I spent zero. I spent zero. I just, when a camp forms, when a fight forms, I'll gather a team of people. We go into the Vegas desert, lock ourselves away for 10 weeks and do insanity work. If I'm training back at home during camp, I have fighters locked in a hotel room waiting on call to be called and to come and fight me. It's an insane game, but it's not all in again. I'll go back to that term. It's halfway in. And then you can't be that way, and you certainly cannot be that way in the fight game, but in reality you can't be that way in any game you're in. If you're in a game, make sure you're in it all the way, all in with it, and then that game will be your game. And that's where I am right now. And I've only kind of taken this philosophy recently. Like I said, I've had dips, lacks of motivation, dips in commitment. Ali was one of my first heroes in combat sport. I watched documentaries on him, I read books on him, but even before I engaged in it, but Muhammad Ali was doing it for real, and he was captivating the audience, he was entertaining, and he had passion and conviction, and I was just a young kid watching this. And then what got me into combat sport originally was, as I grew older and began venturing outside my home and outside my estate, again, like I said, Dublin 12, it's a wild out town. You've got to be able to fight. You've got to be able to defend yourself. So when I ventured out, conflict began happening, and I wanted to be prepared for that and be able for that. You know, that's false toughness. The tough guy does not last in the real game. You know what I mean? That's false. I look at the tough guys back then. Where are they now? They're not tough no more. They ain't tough in their mother's box room. You know what I'm saying? So I was not necessarily a tough growing up, but I was a hard worker, and I was smart. That's what I was. And wits beat toughness any day of the week. That's awesome. Twice on Sunday. So I knew what I needed to do. I needed to learn combat sport. I needed to learn martial arts, gain confidence in surroundings, and then rise up. And that's what I done. Coming up, I look at, it's not trash talk to me, although it has in a way become that. I look at the opponent. I look you know yourself to know others. That's a Bruce Lee quote. If you truly know yourself, you can know others. So I know what way I feel. I know what way that man feels. I know what I can say to push his buttons. I know what he's thinking. I know what he's afraid of. I know his worries, and I put them under the spotlight. I put them out there.
Yeah.
I get them thinking about it.
Yes.
I made Jose Aldo an undefeated champion. He was 28 years of age at the time. I made him feel like he was an old man. But he was 28 years of age. I went in, I told him what shot I was going to knock him out, and I knocked him out with that shot. So it's all psychological, to be honest. You've got to be able to control your breathing and control your emotions in there. Again, like I said, sometimes I've been up and down on it.
Sure, of course.
Sometimes I've riled up too much to it, and I'm only young, Tony, you know, I'm still learning the game.
Yeah.
And I don't claim to know it all. But what I do know, I know it damn well, you know, and I'm continuing to learn and continuing to push on. And that's where I'm at now, so. More extent. I'm very confident now, and my engine is keep building. As long as I keep on it and try and not slip and keep motivated. I think like your lack of commitment is almost an insult to the people who believe in you, and that's what I'm trying to tell myself. I said, there's people who believe in me, so this is what I'm telling myself right now, today. There's people that believe in me, and me having this half commitment. It's not what the fuck I am. It's
That's
not
right.
what my people. It's not what the
That's
people who believe in me deserve. And I want to give back to the people who believe in me and give them that belief, you know, and prove that belief correct. So that's where we're at now, and let's see where it goes. Let's.
Yeah.
I have seen a man die in this game. I was ringside. I cornered a man who killed a man. A couple of days after that, the UFC wanted me to fly all over the United States of America to promote the next bout, and I was like, I can't do this. I need to get away, and just my head needs to be in the correct spot. It's a ruthless game. You have to be willing, because you can go in there, and when you come out, you're a different person. If I could describe it to people, it's like entering a car crash. You're going into a car crash. The shins are bare, the feet are bare. You can strike with the elbows, the knees. It's a vicious game, and you've got to be fully committed, and you've got to be willing to go all the way. And that's what I am, and that's what I have.
Literally is a fucking gladiator.
I make correct decisions even in there, even in defeat. I know when it's if there is an out and it's time to get out. I know when to live to fight another day.
Yes.
You know, so you have to be intelligent in there as well. Otherwise, you won't live to fight another day. And that's what happened in my last bout. I am humble in victory or defeat, no matter what. It's a sport at the end of the day, a gruesome sport, but it's a sport. So I respect it. I was defeated on the night. All in is a term I like to use in my ventures. All in. We've got to be all in on our ventures. I am all in on my whiskey. I'm all in on my clothing, my fitness. You know, my family is a great family. I have a loving family. My mother, my father, my two sisters. But my lineage, the McGregor lineage, we are bled on the battlefield. You can trace my lineage back to the Highlands, where we fought invaders off of our land with our family sword, the claymore. It's wrapped in sheepskin, and I have it hanging on the banisters of my stairs, just to remind me of where I come from and who I am. We are warriors. We are fighters.